About ready to get started on our end. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you've had a moment to settle in, to get ready for what's going to be an excellent day of programming. Welcome to day one of the Respectful Workplace Week Forum 2024. My name is Michelle Thompson, and I'm the Executive Director of the Public Legal Education and Information Service of New Brunswick, which is the organization that is leading this year's planning for Respectful Workplaces Week. And I'm going to be your host for today. Before we begin and get into the main program, I'd like to start with a land acknowledgement. So Plius, New Brunswick respectfully acknowledges that we're located on the unceded homelands of the Wolastoqey, Mi'kmaq, and Pescatomakati peoples. This region is covered by the Peace and Friendship Treaties of 1725, which did not include the surrender of land and resources, but instead recognized Wolastoqey, Mi'kmaq, and Pescatomakati title and established rules for what was meant to be an ongoing relationship between nations. We recognize that there can be no reconciliation until the truth is known. Indigenous peoples and settlers need to know the reality regarding the treatment of Indigenous peoples in Canada in order to move forward in respect and friendship, which is what we're here to talk about over the next 2 days. Before I say much more, I want to make sure that everyone here is comfortable on Zoom. So if you're in the audience, your camera and mic are off, and they're going to stay off for the rest of the day, so you can be comfortable. You're not going to be caught on camera accidentally. You can send us comments and questions using the Q&A function that you'll find at the bottom of your screen. You can also use that for tech support or logistical questions. Those questions will come to us and someone from our team will respond or put those questions on to our panelists or our speakers for today. We have chat disabled at this point, but we might send you out links or other announcements through the chat function. You also can use the audience reaction button to applaud if you want. So there's still a couple ways for you to interact with our speakers. We do have simultaneous translation available for the forum today and tomorrow. To use it, select the language option in the bottom left corner of your screen, and you should be able to choose between English and French. Our translators today are Chrissy Michaud, Marie-Catherine Chesson, Laura Bonney, and Jelena Holland. I want to say thank you to the translation team and remind all of our speakers, including myself, to please speak slowly to help the translation team keep up. A few of our forum sessions are going to be recorded, but not all. So we encourage you to try to be present for as much of the event today as you would like to see. So Respectful Workplaces Week is an annual event that fosters discussion, education, and awareness about respect at work. Over time, this definition has come to include issues like equity, health and safety, fair pay, legal rights, decent work, and much more than that. This year alone, we've got sessions in place about everything from accessibility to workplace violence, to pay equity, to public scrutiny and politicized work, to temporary foreign workers, and the future of decent work for nonprofits. If you're a longtime attendee of Respectful Workplace Week, you've probably noticed a couple of changes in the format for this year. You may recall last year, Kathy Holtzman of the Muriel McQueen Ferguson Center and I announced that my organization, the Public Legal Education and Information Service of New Brunswick, was taking over primary responsibility for Respectful Workplace Week, supported, as always, by a dedicated committee of knowledgeable and thoughtful people from government, the private sector, and beyond. And so we're trying a few new things this time around. First, we've shortened the main program, what we're now calling the Respectful Workplace Week Forum. It's 2 days, not 3, and the days are a little bit shorter. We've resisted the urge, although it was there, to pack our program with wall-to-wall details and speakers. We hope instead that this program will offer you some useful, educational, and thought-provoking sessions while still leaving you time to check your email, put out fires, and balance some of the many other things we know that you all have on your plate. And if it doesn't, let us know in feedback. We are listening. Second, outside of the forum, which is today and tomorrow, we've also launched the first Respectful Workplace Week workshop series. This is a series of one-off, public-facing, skills-based workshops that are scattered throughout the week. We kicked off the workshop series yesterday with Accessibility Basics for Facilitators, which was a sold-out training session presented by the Employment Equity Opportunity Program of GNB, led by facilitators Soph Melitz and Angela Black. Today, immediately following the forum at 3 p.m., we're presenting a workshop on what employers can do to support employees who may be experiencing domestic violence at home. The It's Your Business DIPV in the Workplace Toolkit, presented by Lindsay Manuel, our longtime partner from the Women's Equality branch of GNB. And finally, on Friday morning at 10 a.m., PLIUS is offering a free Safer Places training session about workplace sexual harassment for employees, which will be facilitated by my colleague and friend, Matthew Smith. If you're interested in either the 3 p.m. workshop today or the sexual harassment workshop on Friday, there's still time to register. You can visit our Respectful Workplaces Week page on our website, legalinfonb.ca, for more information, or I'm sure somebody from our team can drop those registration links in chat. I did not ask them to do that in advance, but they're very good and I'm sure they will pull it. Or send us a message directly through Q&A if you want the link, and we'll make sure that you get it. As always, all of this week's programming is free of charge and it's open availability to anyone who wants to attend. So we hope to see you there. And the last thing to say on this is, I mentioned we're trying something new. We really do want your feedback on Respectful Workplace Week this week. For those of you who are attending a lot of the 2-day forum, most or all of it, we will be sending out a feedback survey on the whole event at the end of day 2. But if you're one of the people who's going to drop in for 1 session or 2 sessions here and there, we're also going to post a link at the end of each session in chat for you to give us feedback on that specific session. So if you aren't attending the whole thing, you can still talk to us and tell us what you thought about the parts that you were able to see. We're really interested in what you want to see and how you think the direction of Respectful Workplace Week is developing. This has always been a group effort, and even though it's now being led by my team as opposed to the team out of Muriel McQueen Ferguson, it still reflects the interests and the labor of an entire community, and we want to incorporate what you want into future programming. So let us know. Before we get to our keynote in a couple of minutes here, I want to take a moment to thank some of our partners who have made this week as big as it is. The Government of New Brunswick declared September 3rd to 6th Respectful Workplaces Week for all public servants across the province. And I know some of you are in the audience today, so hello and welcome. The City of Fredericton has also made a declaration to observe Respectful Workplace Week and work towards stronger workplaces for everyone in our municipality. Thank you to the Council and to everyone who is joining us from City Hall. The University of New Brunswick made a declaration this morning. Despite the craziness today and classes resuming, I was there and it was a lovely moment. Likewise, the Collège Communautaire du Nouveau-Brunswick is observing the week on all of their campuses. Thank you to both of these institutions and the staff there who make them great. If you're with us, welcome to you as well. And finally, welcome to you, the general audience. Thank you for making time to be with us. Thank you for caring about respectful workplaces and carving out time in your day. We're going to pick up in a couple of minutes for our keynotes. In advance of that, I do want to mention that we have some difficult topics coming up in our programming, including our keynote. So skim ahead, be aware of the content, and take care of yourself over the course of the next 2 days. We are doing our best to give you short breaks in between each of the chunks of our programming. The first of which will be momentarily as we take about 10 minutes to get ready for the keynote and return by 10:15 with our keynote address. So thank you very much. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.